It is 1 week since I was talking to you, and like every time, I don't know what date it is, but I think it's about 9 August 9, 2023, like that, roughly. I am retired, so it doesn't matter for me the date, but it's only when I needed to go somewhere where I have an appointment, then I need to be careful and see where that day when it's coming up. And I have an appointment. It's I think it's August 25. It's a woman is coming here and want to talk to me about, because I have told the city hall that I need to move from this apartment. It was a good apartment when it was COVID-19, because I had a garden to be and not be with other people. But now it's COVID-19 is over here in Sweden. They say at the news for some days ago that this was the first time they didn't have any COVID-19 people in the hospital in the whole Sweden. So it's pretty gone. We can't be sure about it because people are traveling. So it can come with people that have traveled far away. I don't know how it looked like in other countries, so how much it is with the COVID-19 and or other version of it. But here is it gone. We don't need to wear any mask and be careful. We can live like before, and people do that, and that they are worried about it. Those people that take care of sick people, and because it's like COVID-19 have never been, and so it's a little reckless to not be careful. I take from the COVID-19 that I always clean my hands when I'm coming from outside of my home. And so she is coming here, and we are going to look at if I can stay in a more nursing home, but not this kind as a hospital. It's I will have my own apartment, but very small. I'm used with that when I was homeless, but and when I live my ordinary life, I have bigger apartments. I like I have said, a freedom. So I need a little space, but those home is a small apartment with a bathroom and a small kitchen, and and it's enough for me because I work mostly with the computers. I only need to set up my computer, and of course a television to see the news. It's not because I can see that on my computer, but it's a big screen I have for a television. So, and I have bought a router for my computers. I didn't have that before because the more advanced and expensive router, they hack into the my router. But I have bought a security place. You have that it's the same all over the world, and it's close everything down when I go into my bank, for example, and other places where it should not be an entry to steal things from me. But the ordinary internet is open, and it's no security on my emails, isn't it? It's only when I'm out on internet on these security places, and I'm okay with that. I don't do so much secret things on the internet, and I have taking away my websites. There is no websites anymore, and so if you look at them, they are something else. There is no, because it's be harder and harder to work with my provider, how they do the websites, because now the websites is done to be on telephones and not on big screens, computers. And I work with big screen computer things, and so it doesn't work to do it. It was only for telephones, and I see the telephone computers not serious things. Real computer freaks like me, and they who work serious with the internet, they don't have telephones. That is only when they are on the run they use the telephone, but they sit down in the office and have those big screen computers to work with, because it's hard for the eyes to sit and look at inside a telephone the whole time. So they that work the whole day long, maybe 7 days a week, they can't have work on telephones. So it's not serious. I don't know. I have never talked to someone that work on internet, how they see it. But for me, is it the telephone. When I know that a single man is talking to me and want to come to know me better, he's not for me when I find out that he don't look at my... It's mostly is it on Facebook. They are taking contact. And then I realize they have never checked out my Facebook profile because that's too much on telephones. So they don't know anything about me. And as I bought my first computer in 1978. So most of my life I have been on computers. In 1994 did I started to be on internet. So it's very much of my life I have been in this, and I can't be okay with a man if I should meet a single man and he don't know anything about computers, because it's a big part of my life. So it's and then also that he can't check out who I am and read some of my posts on Facebook to see that I'm serious when it's coming to God and afterlife. And they never do that. And it's young people. They are only telephones. So that is one way for the devil to stop people to could really see things how it is. That because I am sure that in some homes they only have telephones to look at internet. They are very seldom on a big stationary computer, so they don't get all the information. And that is how I see it. It's the devil that have closed the door to could take contact with each other and get information. In the school, of course, they have that, but then when they have finished the school, then there is a gap. And in the school, mostly they are on computers to do their homework and task and those things they do in the school, and not freely go out and search for information. So this is a time of the devil to do this. It was very good and nice when internet came, and it was open for us to see what's going on all over the world. And then after a while, I don't know what year it was, but it's a long time ago, they started to block countries. So some websites, when I go in to read a newspaper in New York, for example, I can't access it. It's blocked. It says that it's I don't know what they say. It's forbidden for your area, for your country to come in and read that newspaper, like they say. First it was about music. I tried to be member of some of these websites that had all kind of music. And suddenly, I know the one company in, I think it's in United States, the name is Pandora, the box there. Everything is there, magic things inside Pandora box. And that's a place where I can't come in from Sweden. So it started with the music, and then now it is some areas on the internet where I can't come in. And of course, it maybe is the same thing here in Sweden, that there is websites that you can't come in. I don't talk about the bank. I talk about ordinary things that is for us harmless, but they don't see it like that. And I think, as I am in web design, that it's those that go in on the internet and watch websites. Some cheap owner of websites, there is they pay for a sort of amount of people that listen. So they block those countries that they can't have any business with. That's why they block it. It's not about the secret of what's on it. It maybe can be that way. But as a web designer and work with computers since 1978 and been on internet since 1994, is it about to pay for audience, pay for how many people that open up your website. That's how I see it. And so I stop with my websites, but now it's a little hard because some provider ask me about my website address, and I don't have anyone anymore. I should have hold it open, my websites, if I had money enough to pay for it. But as I see it, that people don't send me any money anymore. I don't know who it was that was sending me money to come to Jerusalem in December. But after that, after I come back from Jerusalem, is it no one that have sent me any money? And I'm thinking that I make them, I maybe made people angry at me or disappointed, because they maybe was thinking that I should do something special that they have thinking about. This is how people are when it comes to God. God should do what they want God to do. It's never the opposite, that they want to do something that God wants them to do. No, God should be a slave to people. That's how they see it. So I don't say everyone is like that, but most people are like that. What can you do for me, God? It's not about what can I do for you, God. And so I think those people that helped me to come to Jerusalem and helped me to get the insurance, pay for insurance and all this, to pay for the taxi. They thought that I should do something in Jerusalem that they want me to do. And like the one that was sending me most money, it was about Jesus. But I am not into Jesus. Jesus is not God. Jesus belonged to the afterlife. So he have no more value than those other that is in heaven, in our afterlife, that have done many things for people, but they have not been really recognized of people to do nice things. But they are equal with Jesus in heaven, in afterlife. And people don't understand that, and they wanted me to find out and tell the whole world that I am in Jerusalem now, and I feel Jesus so very much on me, and Jesus is talking to me, and Jesus is doing these things. I am not, of course, 100%, but many have thought about thinking that I should do those things that they believe in. They don't understand that in year 2000 there was a higher priest standing in my home, and he was talking to me, and he's standing like an ordinary, normal people. He looked like that. He was really not in a mist. He was really clear body standing there. And after that, when he left, then God come and talk. And I didn't see God, but I heard God's voice. And I had heard it before when I was 16 years old. I have talked about this sometimes, that I heard God's voice that was telling me to go into a girl in a room at the hospital and lay hand on her, and she was instantly healed from being disabled. She couldn't walk and she couldn't talk, and after that she could. And so I knew God's voice, and I have been up to heaven sometimes. I don't know how many times. It's not one or two. It have been many times I have been up to heaven, and I have met Jesus in his 30s years of age, and he have no white hair and white beard. He have brownish hair. He have not dark brown. He is almost a little red-haired brown, because that's that is all kind of colors in him, and he was in the heavenly garden, so he had done his work. There is many people that have done the work for heaven here on earth, but they have not been noticed. They have not been written about so much as Jesus, but they have done the whole work also, and going to heaven. So Jesus is only one part of afterlife, and God. I know that as I was hypnotized of one Zen Buddhist monk. He was that, and I was interesting to see what he believed in. So I look at it on internet about that. He was not talking about religion because he was into hypnosis, and I was the one that was walking in heaven without his help. I only told him what I saw in heaven, and but it is a little like they say in a Buddha, in a Buddhism, that God is not so much involved into people. I think they say God is not involved in people's life. He is far away. He's there, but he doesn't touch this world. And in that I don't agree to, but this that I agree that he's far off. So he is not. He have workers to do what he tell them to do, and sometimes he have coming down to me and talk, but that is because I was chosen to be a prophet for this generation we live in. I don't say the last prophet, but I am a prophet. I don't want to say I don't want to assume what I am. If God is telling me who I am, then I can tell it. But I know that I am a prophet because I hear from God and from afterlife, and that's what I know. But I don't know, like those more bragging people, leaders. They say, "I am the last prophet. I'm the last prophet. I'm the last prophet." The whole time they say, and still do. And I don't know the future, so I can't tell you that I am the last prophet. That I can't say, because I don't know. And if I should say that, I should lie to you, and I don't lie. And so the only thing I know that I am a prophet. And one person, he was very sure that I was Elijah, that is coming before Jesus. But of course he believed that Jesus should come and Jesus should be God, and like that. So I couldn't be be God, and I couldn't be Jesus. But I I thank Him for to believe that I can be Elijah, and that is very big for to be a woman, because many men is telling me that God doesn't talk to a woman. So that is very much when He say, I think you are Elijah, that one that is coming before Jesus is coming. And I don't know. My name is Anna, and that's what I am. And if we should take only on that name, Anna is in the Bible as a prophet, and she was praying and talked to God, and her name, Hebrew name, is Hannah or Anna. So it can be the same woman the Bible is talking about. And so she was a prophet, like I. Then is it also a hint that I heard from heaven that I should go and touch the Golden Gate in Jerusalem? I didn't know what Golden Gate was. So I had to look it up on the internet. I was not well known about it. And then I read it on the internet that Golden Gate was that gate where Virgin Mary's mother was standing there in the opening of the gate with her husband Joachim, and an angel come to Anna, and the angel told her that she was pregnant with someone very special, and that was Virgin Mary. So that is a hint that I should go and touch that Golden Gate. So it can mean everything in that story, that in some way be pregnant, that I am pregnant, and I have something inside me that should come out, and go more farther. It may be someone that will come from my body. It's coming from my body. It's, of course, I'm too old to carry a real child, but a child, to be pregnant with child, I have explained it for you in other episodes. That is to have something project going on inside you that need to come out, or it be dead, the project. God have placed something in you, a project that you should not carry forever, because you can't carry a child in your womb more than 9-10 months. Then it's need to come out, or else it's die, and you can't do anything. And I have told you that you need to to let it come out. If you have something you know is God-giving talent or God giving you something to do, you need to place it out there before you overdo the whole thing and it die. That it's someone touching me now, because it's something that have hit some of you that listen now, that you have it, but you hold it of fear, that and this spirit is saying he knows you, and he say that is some that is me. Why me? I'm not nothing, and that is prepared for you to have fear. That was from the beginning, that you learn from the childhood, that you should hold back, and that because you are nothing. That is what you have been told. It can be inside your family. It can be outside from in the school, that you are nothing. You have nothing to give the world. That what they have make you to believe. But you have it. You know in your heart. You know in your heart that you have this thing that can make the world a little better. And you have not speaking out what you know is wrong. You have not told them that I have been too weak, so I follow the big group of people that I am not sure that God is so happy that there is homosexual people, and what's going on in that the pride parades. Now it was the first time here in Sweden that they were those leaders for the pride festival here in Sweden. They were welcome in and be in a feast in the highest up with the royals and those in the government and that why we have a government. Our king have not so much to say. He can say whatever he wants to say, but he have no power. But the government have power, and we have the government because they should have this limit of what we can say and do with things. And if they inviting those homosexual leaders, and of course I know the homosexual is going to make them dress like transgender and those things that look like they want them to look like. They have done that on television in a newsroom. I don't watch some channels on the television because it's so much homosexual today. So that's the government. We have like to tell them the limit, and as the homosexual have crossed the limit, they have going up to the top in a government, and as they can do that, it started over again with this talking about to have free smoke drugs, to have hashish, and not be in prison for that, to sell openly on these things. And that what I study the Swedish law, and we were talking about this, that the government need to be like put a lid on what's going on in a society, so it's not going wild. But they don't do that today. They welcome in everyone, and they say, of course we can not go into people's personal life, but we can do some law about it. What you can do and not to do. What they do in the private, that is not our business, but they should not come up here. And the more homosexual there is, and those that have put clothes on like they are a cat or a wolf, have look like animals, and have these sexual things going on, and sit in the government and vote who is going to sit in the government. It's gonna be a chaos in the end of it. But it is, I'm talking a little political things, but I tell you that I study in the university about the Swedish law, and I was with this law people that do the law in the government. I was not sitting in the government, but I was one of the advisor in the government. And then in that time was it impossible to let it go with all these drugs and this kind of weird sexuality. And they are now in Sweden. They are everywhere now, and them very much about children. They advise children. They place themselves in that position so they can working with children to be homosexual, and also that they can touch those children, and the Swedish people, not everyone, I say not everyone, but many of the parents think that I must be open, freely, I must be like, be not so old-fashioned. I need to be in this modern life. I seems to be stupid if I don't agree to let my children be together with those. We have this in the library. They are reading for the children, and this is a man who is wearing female clothes that is transgender, and they are reading for the children. The devil is about to take next generation, steal it, our children. He's taking them, and the people don't see it. But if you know these things, and you are not really in your heart believe in these things, you should say no. But that the case is that you can lose your family, you can lose your friends, but you should know that to be powerful in this, to say, stop, I don't agree with this. I can love, I can accept homosexual people. It's not about that. It's about what they are doing. They can do whatever they want in their personal, private life, but they should not be out on the street and steal the children into this. It's not about that I don't love homosexual. It's not that. It's about what they are doing, and that is what the Spirit here is saying. Because I'm talking from the Spirit. I have done that for 10 minutes at least. And sometimes the Spirit is coming inside me and talk. And I don't know that they have done it. But this is the Spirit talking to you, that you have to stand up in what you see and hear, and say, I don't agree with you. I don't stand with you to that the whole society should be homosexual, and that we can decide if we to have a wife that is a man, or a man that is a woman, husband that is a woman, and there is lots of very strange things in the sexuality, because I have been educated in psychology, and for 3-4 years after that, I was advisor in sexuality to people. So I know very much about sexuality in different forms, and I could tell you all of them, but it should maybe take 1 hour to do that. The most, in that time when I was working at sexual informations, the most strange sexuality that it was one of the biggest groups of people that have this sexuality was very strange for me, but it was like that they be hot of the arms, underarms, from the elbow to the hand. That is very strange for me, but it was like that. And some people wanted to be dig down in the soil, in a box, and laying there, and only have a hole where they get air from, or else they die. But dig down there and laying in many hours under the soil in a box. It was very strange things, and I try to understand them and where they're coming from, but most of it is from the childhood, and that's what the devil is doing today more than ever. So we see the sign of the end time, but as I say, it's a spirit that talking now. We have a choice. It's in the Bible they're talking about the free will, and this is the free will, the real free will they're talking about in the Bible is to it's hard to talk a little because they are going back and forward in my mouth here. That we have a free will to choose if we are going to run with those evil things going on today, that the homosexual people are allowed to rape the children, to make children thinking different from before other generations, that the children will be confused. So those that is not with the evil, they are going to make suicide because they be confused of everything that is going on. And we need to make a stand. I don't say that what you should decide to do, but it is to say enough is enough, to stand up. And certainly you will see there is other people that going together with you and say, I have enough with all this, that they want to make law that younger and younger children is allowed to change their gender because they want that and they feel like that, and maybe their parents want them to change the gender in their will, and those things. It's enough now. Why don't you stand up and tell and go together with a group of people and that have the same thinking, that enough is enough now. The bad things is going to be good, and the good things is going to be bad. But it is not heaven that do these things. It's upon us, because we are small gods, because we can decide where this planet will go. If it's going back to be a void of God, to be dark, as it was if you read the Bible, in the first lines there is that God was come over this planet, and so it was dark and in the deep, and everything was dark in this planet, and it was people here, but it was about to eat or be eaten, to be killed or kill. It was only negative, this planet. And if it's going on, this bouncing, going backwards, then it's goodbye with this planet. But we want to have this planet be like heaven. It should be the same thing as heaven, where we have peace, no war, peace, and people is in balance with their nature, and they are not today. It's very much about money when it's not about money. It's about come together for the good and not to be separated of the devil. The devil have done that to me. I am by myself, total by myself. I have nothing with people around me. I have you that listen at this podcast. That's what I have. You are my treasure. You are my treasure. And I love you so much because you follow me. I have maybe about 200 followers on different platforms. So I know that some people hear what I'm talking about, and the most bad you can do is to make suicide because you feel that like this planet is doomed. It's not doomed yet. You know, with the Goliath, he was fighting against an army. So much more people was against him to come to war with him, but they were killed, all of them. They ran away from the war, and he win. And we can win. They maybe are 10 times more than we, but they are weak in their way of the mental issue with them is that they are weak, and if they see one of their friends are falling away, then they go away also, because they are strong in the amount, in how many they are in the group. But if they see that some of those people in the group is falling away from the group, then they also start to think, maybe I should go home and hide myself in this. So they be less and less. And we that work for God and have all those in the afterlife with us, we are going to win if we come together. And that's why the devil have done that almost from the start, to separate us, to isolate us, to not have anyone around us that we can talk to and put in action things that we see and hear. So it's what the Spirit is saying, and they are here very much. It's not only that it's very, very much wind, rain, and pretty cold weather for to be summer here. It's not that's why I'm freezing. It's also that I'm touched of these spirits. I'm thinking if it was something more I should say, because thank you. It was the Spirit telling me this about what I hear of this falling away people in the United States. People are falling away from the churches. Is going less and less people from the church. And what the church is doing many times in the American churches is that they start to be like a entertainment. They start to be a club instead, to entertain people, because they have nothing to preach about. People have going tired. They be bored to hear the same thing from those preachers, talking only inside the Bible, and mostly they only preaching about the New Testament. They don't want to touch the Old Testament because they don't understand it. They don't have the Spirit with them that can explain for them what it is about. You need to have the Spirit with you to could understand the truth in the Bible. Or else will the Bible only be a ordinary book. And it's same with all of these holy books. There is books that people rely on, but if they don't understand what they read, then it's only a book, like every book there is, because they don't understand the truth of what it says there. And God, when He come and talked to me in the year 2000, He took away my ability to could read books. My daughter, she called me sometimes on internet, and she talking about books. She read so very much books, and I remember when I was always to the library and get at least 10 books home to read. And when God come to me in year 2000, when He come and took me to do the work for Him, He took away the ability to read books, because He wanted me to listen at Him in the air, to be more into spirit ability than to what other people have written about. because the Bible is not directly from God. It's what people have written. And I know, and I maybe have said it, it's very fragile, what's coming from heaven. And sometimes, that I need to recording, I say to you, I need to recording because a spirit had coming and talked to me in the night, for example. And I say I need to open up my tablet and recording it. And you maybe don't understand that. I need to do it as soon as I can, or else it's falling away very much of it. I maybe only know half of it. Not everything is gone away, but it can be something important that I forget. If I is saying, oh God, I'm not going to recording today what was said in the night. I wait till I get more to talk about in my podcast. And that doesn't work. When God have talking to me and tell me to do something for him, as soon as he have said that, I started to do it. Even if it's have been the whole time is about money. I can make my time to do things God wants me to do. But I have always been poor after God come and talked to me. Before that, I was not poor. But when God come and talked to me in year 2000, have I been poor in money. So that means also something why he did that. I have never paid. Some I have paid on my own money, but most of the money I have got it in a supernatural, natural way, because God have wanted me to do things for him. And it's all have been very much to travel to other countries. And I have got it. Now is it time to stop this recording, because I see it's over 1 hour, and that is the limit for me to recording. But I hope I have talked to you, and the Spirit have talked also what you need to know today. I'm sorry about that I have been away, but I don't understand my tablet, the new tablet. And today, when I test this, my old tablet, suddenly it's working again. So that it only needed to rest 1 week, and then suddenly I think it's the afterlife that understand that I couldn't recording on my new tablet. So they make this old tablet, 12 years old tablet, be healed. So thank you for that. And thank you for listening. And God loves you, and afterlife, those that is close to you, that is related to you, that is in the silver cord between you and afterlife, they love you very, very much and want your best. And they don't want you to make suicide. They want you to to have this fighting spirit. That means, fighting spirit means that you fight depression, you fight the thinking of suicide, you fight to be happy every day and wake up every day. That's what he's talking about. So thank you for listening, and God bless you.